This is a picture of my husband Ward, who was killed on September 11th by the senseless and needless act of terrorists. Every morning I wake up at peace, and then I remember September 11th.
Please do not let them get away with this. We need to show our children there are consequences.
On the morning of 9/11, my husband went to work, and we never saw him again. He came home in 17 pieces over the next 10 years.
These are the faces of 9/11. It's been 15 years, but they're still searching for justice. And the question is, will they ever get it?
3,000 innocent people lost their lives. If the job of the government is not to stop something like that from happening, what is it?
It's been a fight 9.5 years in the making. Loved ones of 9/11 battling to bring a lawsuit against Saudi Arabia.
Send a clear message to the rest of the world that if you are going to fund terrorists who want to kill Americans, we are going to hold you accountable.
But in order for that lawsuit to happen, there needs to be this bill passed, the Justice Against Sponsors of Terrorism. And it doesn't look like that'll happen.
That's not an effective, forceful way for us to respond to terrorism. A forceful way for us to respond to terrorism is to thoroughly investigate.
The bill ends a long-standing policy which grants immunity to foreign officials whose governments are suspected of terrorism. Now, surprisingly, both the House and Senate passed the bill on Friday, which you don't hear about too often on Capitol Hill. But the Obama administration says the bill could damage key relationships with the Middle East, which is why Obama is expected to veto the bill in the coming days.
You talked about change when you were first running for president, and if you really want to change the world, this will do it. This will finally tell terrorists that we are not going to just look the other way.
So does that mean this fight is over? Well, not exactly. Congress could override that veto. And if that doesn't happen, you better bet these two women are going to keep up the fight.
If everybody could call the White House and ask President Obama to please sign this bill.
A lot of people are missing the point, this is one of the most heinous acts in history, and it's probably the worst way to lose a loved one. So you would expect family members to be screaming for blood and violence, but all they want is accountability and justice through paperwork and litigation.
No one for 15 years has held the Saudis accountable. So
I
now
agree.
it's up to some widows and moms and victims' families to do what the government ought to be doing for them.
I'd rather have lawyers in the courtroom than troops in the war zone. I mean, at this point,
Well, you're going to need both.
It's just, as I'm sitting here listening to discussion, everybody keeps saying, oh, Saudi's doing so much for us, but what are they doing? I'm just wondering, like, what are they doing?
Oil.
I agree with you. I think our relationship with them is overrated, and I think someone ought to hold them accountable. And let's see what happens after this election. Thanks.